All righty. We're going to try this again today. So, hi, I'm Cassandra B, and this is Midlife Talks with me. This is episode two. Episode two is where you're still abandoning yourself. So, welcome to Midlife Talks with Cassandra B. This is a place where women over 40 can come and stand at the threshold between who they've been and who they're becoming. No masks, no pretending, just truth. This this is the next best, the next step back to yourself. So let's begin. There's a moment in midlife that doesn't get talked about enough. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's quiet. It's the moment you realize you keep choosing everyone else over yourself. Not because you're weak, not because you don't know better, but because somewhere along the way you learned to abandon yourself. Uh, you learned that abandoning yourself was a way to keep the peace, to be loved, to be needed, to not, cause any issues, problem, drama, whatever it is. And so today we are going to gently look at where is that still happening for you. This is this is a part of our identity, the lie. So I want to share something honestly. There was a time in my life where I thought I was doing everything right. I was showing up, I was giving, I was being who everyone needed me to be. And on the outside, that looked like strength, but underneath, not so much. I was exhausted. I was resentful. I was angry. I was spiraling. I was totally disconnected from myself, from the people in my world, in my family. I was just completely um, not me. So, and that was the hardest truth, was to face that um, no one was asking me to abandon myself. I was doing that, me. Nobody asked me to do any of the things I was doing. It was just some kind of expectation I had in my own head. So every time I said yes when I meant no, every time I stayed quiet instead of speaking, every time I ignored that feeling in my body that said, this doesn't feel right, abandoned myself and my truth over and over again. I was doing that every time I agreed to something that I knew was not in my best interest, that was not best for me. But oh, don't want to let somebody out, don't want to, hurt anybody, don't want to whatever that the fill in the blank. And here's the lie that keeps in this pattern in place. If I choose myself, I'll lose everything. It's selfish to put me first. This is just who I am, right? All of those little stories that we create in our head. If I don't do this, then they're not going to like me. Oh my goodness, but that's not who you are. It's not. It's who we are learned to be. It's not our truth. It's not our authenticity. It is not any of those things. It's what we've been taught to do. It's what we have learned. It's what we've been shown over and over and over again. So, what I want you to do now is I want you to just pause for a moment. Just take a beautiful, nice, deep breath in and out. And I want you to ask yourself gently, just ask yourself, where am I overriding myself right now? Not your thoughts. It's where are you feeling your body knows. So where is your is there a tightness in your chest? Is there an uckiness in your tummy? Is your jaw really tight and tense? Have you been grinding your teeth? All those kind of things. Are you getting heart palpitations? Sweaty hands? Are you getting any of those things? Because that feeling, that moment of self abandonment, um, it's not something to judge. It's something to take notice of. It's just take another nice deep breath and then name that thing that is causing you to be in not your best self right now. What have you been ignoring? Name it. What part of yourself have you been ignoring and saying yes to everything else for everybody else? This is where we want to bring back our power. This is where we come back into self, because awareness is the important part. Because it's not just enough to say we're going to do things. We actually have to take that step into actually changing, to actually making that shift, to becoming conscious in that energy. Your next step is not to like overhaul your old life. That's not what I'm asking you to do. It's to choose yourself once, just in this moment. Just choose yourself. What could that look like if you actually just put yourself first? If you put yourself as the thing instead of the thing you avoid, the thing that you actually make uh, prominent first in your life. Saying, I need to think about this instead of immediately saying yes. Speaking an honest sentence you've been holding back. Setting a small boundary so that you're not always jumping in and agreeing to everything else for everybody else. Taking space instead of explaining yourself. Just going to take a moment, align, and then come out. And we also don't always have to explain ourselves. We are so often wanting to give everybody a reason for why you don't have to. You know what the reason is? No, I don't want to. And that's okay. It's listening to your body and actually honoring it, honoring your truth, honoring yourself, honoring all of those things that might make you feel uncomfortable. It might be you're the reason why you're saying yes is because you don't want to feel the guilt and the fear. And honestly, you shouldn't have guilt or fear about the other side. If somebody else is making you feel crappy because of a decision you've made, then maybe they aren't the best people to have in your world. And if you feel guilt, then maybe you need to look at, where did that guilt actually come from? How long ago in your life did this guilt actually flow in? And where did it stem from? Because that is learned behavior. We feel guilty for taking time for ourselves, but nobody seems to feel guilty for all the time that they're absorbing from us. So it's very interesting that it's always that aspect of what's best for everybody else, but what if it's not best for me? That's the part we need to start looking at. What is best for you? What is best to be in alignment in your truth, in yourself? So we need to stop, we need to let go of the guilt and the fear, and understand that when we get those little moments, it's not that it's wrong. It's these shifts that we're needing to go into is the new piece that we're becoming, the new parts of us that are moving forward. Because you no longer need to choose from who you were trained to be and who you are choosing to become. We're needing to do what's best and aligned for us first, and then for the collective at whole. It's time we ask ourselves, where can you choose yourself today just once? Where can you make you the priority instead of everybody else? Where can you do that one little thing that changes the perspective of everything for you? So every time you've abandoned yourself, you rebuild something powerful. So if you stop abandoning yourself, you start rebuilding something, and not even rebuilding, although it is rebuilding from your beginning, but it's actually building self-trust. It's building the truth inside of yourself. And self-trust changes everything, because when you trust yourself, first off, you stop looking outside for permission. You stop second guessing every decision. You start moving through your life with clarity and understanding, and it's not because everything is perfect, because oh goodness, it's because you are finally on your own side. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about coming back to who you always were before you learned to leave yourself, before you were told to fall into the patterns, the ideas, and the aspects of what everybody else wanted. Before all of those things happened, what would it be like to actually step into your truth, your authenticity, and who you truly are? So here's a practice for today. Notice one moment, just one, where you would normally override yourself and choose something different. Just once. That's it. I'm only asking for one, because that one moment, that beginning, is the change of everything. Because when we take that one step, that one truth into ourselves, that trusting ourselves, we start to remember that We're not lost. This is just a threshold moment. And it really shows up in our, there's a threshold at 30, there's a threshold at 40, there's several thresholds between 40 and 60. So all of these thresholds are for us to come into our best selves. They are to cross over into our truth. They are stepping back into our divine self, uh, our authentic aspect of who we came in to be. It's we are needing to stop abandoning ourselves and start stepping into our truth. We are needing to release the shame and become aware of where we are at. We are needing to just choose ourselves and then step into that with that aligned action. So looking at the big abundant vision of who you are and then stepping deeper into yourself. Because the truth is we are stuck because we are breaking patterns of who we were, who we've been taught to be, who all of those expectations from others have put us into. So we're if you are feeling stuck right now, just know that you are just needing to take one step. If you are abandoning yourself, you just need to choose yourself once. If you are letting people suck and move and go into your energy, you haven't placed your boundaries properly. Really look at one boundary you could put on today. If you are stuck in grief and trauma and old energies, find a way to help just let one thing go today. This is all about stepping into the elder space, into our sovereignty, into our best self. This is all of that beautiful energy. So this is where we are at today. This is the energy we're shifting through. And then tomorrow we're going to work on boundaries without guilt. So anyway, I hope you guys all have a beautiful day. I hope this finds you well. And we're going to shift and play as we move through. I'm really still confused on this camera aspect. I'm using my big camera and it just feels a little weird. It feels like I'm looking here at my screen, which is at me, but my camera's up here and it just feels like it's got a weird, so I'm gonna have to work with that a little bit. Anyway, I hope you guys all have a fabuloso day. Maybe if I turned it down a little bit. Oh, it's a little better, but still a little off. And it's got such a wide view. It sure shows up my room. I'm going to have to figure out how to pull that in a little bit too. Anyway, I hope you all have a beautiful day. And remember, the only thing you need to worry about is your next best step. So take a best step into you today. And I will see you again tomorrow for Midlife with Cassandra B. I know I'm still getting used to saying that, but that's what we're doing. Anyway, have a beautiful day and I'll see you tomorrow.